All right, let's get right into it. Before you even think about hitting that buy or sell button, there's one thing that truly separates the disciplined traders from, well, everyone else, and that's a simple, repeatable routine. We're talking about a quick process you do before every single trading session that brings you clarity and stops you from trading blind. And this right here is the heart of the problem, isn't it? When you jump into a trade you can't actually explain, you're not trading, you're just gambling. And the second that trade turns against you, which it will, you have zero framework for making a smart decision. It's just pure chaos, driven by fear and panic. That's exactly what we're here to fix. So what's the solution? It's actually surprisingly simple. We're talking about a 5-step, top-down analysis that takes, get this, 15 minutes. Tops. It's a pre-session routine that gives you a crystal clear game plan before the market ever gets a chance to play with your emotions. Let's break it down, step by step. Step 1, and this is non-negotiable, we start on the daily chart. Always. I mean, think about it. You wouldn't start a cross-country road trip by staring at a map of a single city block, would you? Of course not. The daily chart is your high-level map. It tells you the market's main story. Now, on this big map, we're on the hunt for just 3 specific things. First, where's the price right now compared to the last major high and low? That tells you who's been in charge. Second, what's the trend? Super simple. Are we seeing higher highs and higher lows, or the opposite? And third, are there any obvious big levels nearby, like yesterday's high or low? If so, you mark them. And here's the most important part of this step. After looking at that structure, you have to boil it all down to a single word: bullish, bearish, or ranging. That's it. No ifs, buts, or well, it kinda looks like. This forces you to make a clear decision from the get-go. For instance, if you see a clear pattern of price climbing, making higher highs and higher lows, you just write it down, bullish. That's it. That one single word becomes the anchor for your entire session. And this just sums it up perfectly. You simply cannot navigate the crazy twists and turns of an intraday chart if you don't even know which direction the highway is heading. The daily chart gives you that fundamental context, that direction. Okay, on to step 2. Now we're going to zoom in just a little. We drop down to the 4-hour chart. So if the daily chart is the map of the entire country, think of the 4-hour as the map of the state you're driving through right now. It gives you the current chapter in that bigger story. And on this chart, you're really looking for one of 2 scenarios. Is the 4-hour trend confirming what the daily chart told you? We call that an aligned market. That's a high probability situation. Or is it moving against the daily trend? That's a pullback market, which is basically a yellow light, telling you to be a bit more patient. So on this time frame, you're just confirming that alignment. You're marking the recent swing points where price turned around, and you're keeping an eye out for any obvious gaps or imbalances in price that might act like a magnet. We're still not looking for an entry. We're just building our story, building the case for a potential trade. All right, step 3. Now we drop down to our actual session time frame, maybe the 1 hour or the 15-minute chart. And listen, the mission here is very, very specific. We are not hunting for a trade. We are hunting for a location where a trade might show up. This is a huge mental shift for most traders. A session zone is a spot on your chart that you identify before you even start trading. It's your predetermined hunting ground. It's the area where you'll patiently wait for price to arrive and show you exactly what you need to see. And that's the perfect way to think about it. The amateur logs on and just starts firing at anything that moves. But the professional, they identify a high probability zone, they wait for the target to walk into their crosshairs, and only then do they consider taking the shot. This routine turns you into a sniper. So let's talk about accountability, because that's what makes this all stick. Step 4 is where you make this whole process real. Before the session starts, you write it all down. This isn't just a diary entry. Think of it as a contract you're signing with yourself. And your journal entry is dead simple. 4 parts. The one-word daily bias, a quick 1-sentence summary of the 4-hour context, the exact price level of your session zone, and finally, you write down the specific conditions price has to show you at that zone for you to even think about clicking a button. See, this contract is your promise to your future self, the one who's going to be emotional when the market's flying around. When things get crazy and your discipline is being tested, this contract is what you fall back on. It's your pre-written proof of what a good decision looks like for you today. And finally, step 5. The session opens. The bell rings. What do? Absolutely nothing. You just watch. This is the rule. The first 15 minutes are for gathering intel, not for executing trades. You are simply watching to see if the market is confirming your analysis. Is price moving towards your zone, or is it running away from it? This initial period gives you so much valuable information without you having to risk a single penny. So let's wrap this all up. As you can see, this is way more than just a routine. It's a complete transformation in how you approach the markets. It literally shifts you from being reactive and emotional to being prepared, patient, and professional. Let's run through it one last time, super quick. Start with your daily map to get the big picture. Get your 4-hour confirmation. Identify your specific session zone. Write the contract with yourself in your journal. And then, when the session starts, you observe first. 5 simple steps. And the best part, the part that makes this a complete no-brainer, this whole process, the one thing that can totally change the quality of your decisions and protect your hard-earned capital, takes just 15 minutes a day. That's it. 15 minutes to stop trading blind. So, I'll leave you with this. Don't wait until you feel like it or feel ready to start doing this. Start tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to feel a little clunky and awkward at first, but doing the routine over and over is what builds the skill. Do the work before the session, and you'll protect yourself during it.